Hello YouTube, welcome to another Platanoz tutorials. I am Platanoz, and in the last tutorial we learned how to rig the mouth, the arm, and the torso. So in this one, all we have left is the leg, pretty much. Alright, and any final touches. Alright, so if you open up, if you download the project file and you open up rig part 4, you should have this exact same composition right here. Okay, so let me show you what we're gonna do with the legs real quick. This is the finished rigged, the finished rigged rig, or rigged rig. It's fun to say. So anyway, what we're doing is creating an IK control for the legs, and as you can see, is stretchy, bendy, cartoony, so on and so forth. So that's what we're doing, and then we're gonna create the main control that's gonna move everything. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Should be a short tutorial, just making the leg control and the finishing touches on everything. So if you've watched from part 1, you made it, you should have a finished rig by the end of this tutorial. Alright, so let's dig right in. Open up your project file and open up your rig alarm project, and you can open up the main rig composition, and it's gonna look exactly like this, because I didn't change anything. So it's a lot of layers. I know it's a lot of layers, but bear with me. Alright, let's save the project and let's go right into it. The first problem, the first glaring problem, is that the lab code is going right over it. Okay, but don't worry, I have a solution for that. I have a solution for that problem. All we gotta do is duplicate it, duplicate the torso, bring it down, and then that torso has a handy little mask in it, and just click subtract, and that should have taken care of the problem, but it didn't. So let's see what's wrong here. Oh, my bad, it's here, subtract. And then the other one has no mask, so there's a little brain fart right there. But anyway, that takes care of the problem. So now all we gotta do is rig. Let's click on this leg here, the top leg, and let's hide everything else so we can just focus on that leg. And with our puppet tool, and are you kidding me, I already made these puppets, saving us work. Wow. So let's pretend we're puppeting here with the puppet tool. Really, it's just clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna have one for the thigh, one for the knee, one for the heel, and 2 for the shoes. Alright, so now that we have those puppets, or puppet pins rather, we can go to our Duik plugin, and we create the bones. Creating those bones, and you know what, let's click on the opacity and bring them down so that they're not so annoyingly in the way. And once more time, let's name everything. So thigh.r, knee.r, heel.r, let's name this shoe.r, and let's name this tip, because the tip of the shoe. And let's see, what do we have? Let's parent everything, because of course we can't get away with not parenting anything. So let's select the thigh here and parent it all the way up to the hip. And what that does, one more time, is when you move the hip, that leg is gonna move with it. Alright, so let's see, what else do we need? We need to select the heel, and we need to create the controller. Let's make it green. Boom. And let's bring it down here, all the way down to this right here. And we're gonna select everything and name it green. Name it, or color code it green. You know what I mean. So let's see. Let's name this, of course, foot control .r. and I believe we are good to rig it. So let's select the heel, the knee, the thigh in that order, and then the foot control, and create the IK. So go to IK, create, and you should have a working leg control. If everything went okay, you should have this right here, this leg control. And you can rotate it as well, it's not just the position. So there you go, you just learned how to rig a leg. And you know what, we can hide all of these bones now that we're done with them. We can hide them and shy guy them. Alright, now that we're done with that, and now that we're done with that arm as well, let's see, where is the arm? We can hide that as well. So, you know, it's gonna clear up some space in our composition. So let's save that. And I'm not gonna waste your time and rig the other leg, because it's the same thing, I swear to God. It's, you know, puppeting, bone, and then create the controller. It's the same thing. I'm not gonna waste your time with it. So let's just jump right to the main control thing. Alright? Unless you want me to make the other leg and the other arm. Let me know in the comments, alright? I mean, personally, I think it's a waste of time because it's the same process. But, you know, it's up to you guys. So just let me know in the comments, you know. But for now, let's just make this main controller here. So sort of like a gamepad, you know. And I color it purple because it's the only color we haven't used yet, you know. So let's name it main control. And really, it's just a shape layer, you know. It's nothing special. So let's do that shape layer. Let's do text and name it main, and color it white. There we go, so that is visible in there. And we're gonna select this as a guide layer, really, and name this a guide layer as well. Really, you want most of your controllers to be guide layers, so that when you render, you know, your animation, your video, it doesn't render on your video. Okay, so let's parent this main here to the main control, and let's make it disappear, poof, like magic, because we don't need it there really. And let's create another shape layer, and that's gonna be our you know, head base, I guess you would call it. You know, it's what gives structure to the whole thing, you know. So something like that. Oh, I'm creating a mask, really? I hate it when that happens. Like, you have your pen tool, but you forget it's set to a mask. Alright, so now I'm creating a shape. Roughly a T shape. And then something grayish. And with a little bit of a border, you know. And that's gonna be below everything. Okay. One more thing. Since I'm tying everything here, after you're done rigging the other arm on the other leg, you want to do the same thing I did. You want to hide those bones, because really you're not gonna need them, right? Except for the torso, you're not gonna need any of the other bones to be visible. So we can really hide this neck here. We can hide the shoulder. You know what? Let's not hide the shoulders. And that's it, really. You're gonna need these bones. The torso bones, we're gonna need to see them. But the other ones, you know, the legs or the arms, you can hide them. And of course, parent. If you're doing this leg right here, this is the left leg, you want to parent that thigh bone to the hip. And if you're doing the other arm, you want to parent this shoulder bone to the other shoulder bone. All right, like I did with, you know, like I did in part 4. So now that that's out of the way, Let's name this, where's the shape layer? There we go. Let's name this base control. Okay. And let's bring this down a little bit so that there is more room. Where is that mouth control? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Couldn't see it for a second. Alright, you know what, let's increase the border. Let's bring its opacity down so that it's not like really in the way of anything. And one more thing we can do is we can make it discontinued lines. You know, just so it matches that the fashion of every other controller. You know, that's just a personal thing, like a visual thing. Really, you don't have to do it, but you know, we're going for presentation here as well, right? So now that we have that, we can select every controller, not every controller, or you know, the controllers that are going to be here in that base, like the eyebrow control, the blink, the eye control, mouth, and I believe that's going to be it. And we're going to drag them and parent them to the base so that when we move the base, everything else moves with it. Okay. And actually, this eye control here, we can't parent it. We need to parent, you know, unhide everything, and we're gonna click on the eye control origin, and that's what we want to parent. Just like this head rotation, we don't want to parent it. We want to parent the head rotation origin. Alright, so let's select those two. One more time, eye control origin and head rotation origin. And we want to parent them to the base control. Alright, now that we have that, we want to lock them back up and hide them again. And now that we have that, there we go. Now I don't, let's unshy everything again. And let's do one more thing here. This eye control should be parented to eye control origin. I don't know what the deal is. And this head rotation should be parented to head rotation origin as well. Alright. And one more thing. The head, this right here, should be parented to head rotation origin. And let's move it. There we go. Now let's see if that worked. There we go. Now we have a moving base control. Okay. And now that we have that, and this is just like an extra thing, you know, like after you're done with the rigging, this is more for presentation and to make sure that everything's clickable and that sort of thing. Just the finishing, like just a little tying up bow, you know what I mean? So now that we have that, we parent the headboard to the main control. Okay, and we're gonna parent the, you know, you should, when you're done, you should have the both hand controls and both leg controls, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna drag them to the main control. Again, I'm assuming you already rigged the other arm and the other leg. I'm not gonna waste your time doing them because, you know, it's just repetitive, you know. So there we go. So if you have the other two controllers, everything should move without a problem, right? Oh, and we also need to select the head and parent it here to the main control. And because every other bone here is attached to the hip, everything should be able to move, you know. See, once you've tied that hip, everything should be able to move. Okay, my arm and my leg are staying there because I haven't rigged them. Okay. Oh, the head, where is that head? We need to also attach it to the neck, to the neck bone. Where's the neck? Did I not name it neck? Oh, I hit it. That's what I did. I'm sorry about that. Let's parent it to the neck real quick. There we go. And now when you move everything, see, there we go. You should be able to move. Again, ignore this, you know, this little arm and leg. ignore that. So everything should be able to move like that. Alright, so let's bring it. Alright, let's double check that everything is clickable on the screen. Okay, let's double check that. And the way we achieve this is by locking everything else that we don't need. Okay, so we need the head rotation, we need most of this stuff, we need them, right? But we don't need to see the mouth text layer. We don't need to see that. Okay, so we're gonna go down the line and hide and lock everything we don't need, which I've basically already done. You know, you see all these layers is you know, a crazy amount of layers. So I've hidden away the stuff that we don't need to see, and I've locked them. Okay, so you know, anything that's not a control or a bone, you can lock it and hide it away. I believe that is it, really. So now when we click on this little screen right here, we only select the controllers. Man, is it just me, or his eyes are a little bit too big for his head? Right? They do look big. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I've been doing a lot of tutorials back to back, so I'm a little what do you call it? Woozy, I guess, or you know, lack of sleep. But his eyes do seem bigger than his head. So you know, if you want to fix that, we can go to the head layer and change the eye scale. Really, is fixable. Let's go to the eye. Let's see eye here, and we can scale them down a little bit. You know, yeah, 94. Yeah, I don't know why they just feel a little bit bigger. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So whoever's animating this should be able to just click and hold on, let's lock this main text as well. So when they click, they're only clicking the controller, you know, and they're not clicking anything else like a text layer or some stupid, see, like right now I'm clicking this and it clicks on the text layer. That should not happen. So let's lock that head as well, head text layer. So when they click, you know, they're only clicking the controllers, and it's way quicker. You know, there is no hassle of like, oh, I clicked the wrong thing, blah blah blah. You know, everything is already there and ready to go. So okay, now that we have that, we need one more thing that I forgot, and it's in the head control. We want to add, and this is, you know, is not mandatory. Is if you want to do it, you can add an angle control, right? And name this alternate head rotation. Alternate head rot, right? Because maybe you want the head to rotate, but maybe you don't want it to do that weird semi 3D rotation, you know? Because in the show they don't do that, you know, they don't do this. They rarely look up like this, you know. When they look up, they rotate the head in a 2D way, and I'm gonna show you what I mean when I'm done. But they don't do this like semi 3D rotation, you know, except to the side. When they move to the side, yeah, but up and down they don't do that. So if you want to add an extra controller, like I said, we can go to the head rotation, right, and we click on the rig layer, click on rotation, and we press Alt left click. That's gonna bring up an expression. So if we go to the head rotation control, we can drag this to that right there. Okay, and that's it. We click off, and now we can control the head rotation within the head controller. Okay, so now you have both options. You have a cartoony like 2D head rotation, you know, and you also have the, you know, the semi 3D head rotation. You know, it's just more options for the animator, I guess. So we can lock this head layer, this rig layer. We can lock and hide it away. So because we don't need to see them, we don't need it. So get out of here. All right, so now this is the fully working rig or rig. It's very fun to say. So that's it, I guess. You know, you have the hand control, you have the leg, everything's skiable. You know, you have the code here. You can move the eyes, the brow control. You know, everything that we've done so far. You know, you should clap for yourself and give yourself a pat on the shoulder. You made it. You know, we made it through. We rigged something from scratch. You know, and you didn't give up. You stayed with me all the way. It took a couple of hours, you know, 4 parts, but we made it. All right. So, uh, I will be releasing the fully rigged rig next week. Okay. So whenever this video drops, this part 4 video, next week I'll be releasing the rig for free. I'm not gonna. Why would I charge? That's free. And that has a few hidden toys in there, a few extra things. So that video should be dropping soon. So you know, look forward to that. I will see you guys next time. You know, again, drop a like down there, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns or anything you didn't understand, you know, drop a comment. Let me know. I'll answer as soon as I can. All right, take care, guys.
Click that subscribe button and join the monkey family. Oh, and if you'd like to support the channel, check out my Patreon page. Go ahead, we'll wait.